Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the month of May 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general reading, so if you would like your own personal numerology reading, where we take a look at your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look to see what May holds in store. Life path number 9, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 23-5. So this is interesting. This is bringing in a lot of different elements here. We have the element of change, of course, with the 5 energy. So there could be a lot of changes, a lot of shifts, a lot of like aha moments. And those aha moments are those moments of clarity kind of push you to take action in some way. And that action could alter your life in some way. It could be very pivotal in your life in some way. So you could find yourself making some decisions from that clarity or those aha moments that come in for you at this time. And I would say, this is definitely a month to be curious, to explore, to not really, if you can avoid making any really like sound, long-term commitments this month. Now, of course, let life dictate what you need to do and, make your own decisions. But sometimes the 5 energy can kind of just push us to be the explorer, to really like go on the adventure, be curious, dig deeper, play, kind of like, get our fingers dirty and just kind of like get messy and just see what we create and what kind of comes from all that. So it's definitely a time for, again, curiosity, exploration, but not necessarily a time to make very rigid, long-term commitments impulsively, because the scenery could be changing quite a bit this month. So there could be a lot of moving parts and a lot of, like, you might not have all the information yet, right? Like you might not have all the pieces to the puzzle. You might not get that till like next month. So I would say in the areas where you can, just use this month as the exploration, the explorative part, and see what you discover, because that will probably influence the decisions that you make and the commitments that you make moving forward. So definitely change is on the horizon this month. A lot of shifts potentially, a lot of moving parts, a lot of information potentially coming in. And it's not that you have to do something with that information this month. Again, it's just about like gathering the information and just reading through it, sifting through it, and then figuring out what fits, what doesn't fit, what works, what doesn't work, and kind of going from there. So adaptability is going to serve you well this month. If you're too rigid, it's going to be an uncomfortable month. Like you're going to get frustrated pretty quickly because, again, you might see things come in and then go out really quickly, or, something enters and sort of rearranges things and then leaves. It's that kind of energy. It's a very shifty kind of energy, and it can be a little disruptive. So there's definitely some places in your life that could be disrupted. I would say those would be the places where things have gotten too mundane, where your thinking or your behavior or your actions may be too rigid, where there just needs to be a shakeup. You could definitely see that come in this month. Definitely relationships are in the forefront because you've got the vibration of the 2 with the 23. So relationships are here. They want your attention. And it doesn't have to be romantic relationships, though it certainly can be. It's any relationship that you are connected to. They want your attention this month. There's something, potentially some change that's needed or some clarity that may come in that can help you to get to greater balance within those connections. But it's going to require some compromise. It's going to require sort of observing and seeing where is the disconnect, where, how do we work towards the connection? and how do we work towards that greater balance? So definitely can be very healing in your connections as well. But it's also going to be that reminder that you may have to make some personal changes as well in order to meet that other person sort of halfway, in order for there to be that reciprocity. So if you're constantly pointing the finger out, this month, this 5 energy and this 2 energy are going to turn that finger around back at you. And it's going to say, what changes do you need to make to be able to show up to your relationships in a healthier way, in a more balanced way. So that could definitely be coming in, and you will get the insights. Like, this energy will bring the aha moments, the clarity, the insights, but it's what you choose to do with it that's going to make the difference. And it's going to require compromise and adaptability for sure. And some changes, some modifications, not sacrifice, but compromise. And there's a big difference there. And then with the 3 energy of the 23/5, that 3 energy, again, brings in the fun. It brings in the jovialness. It brings in that like connection to your inner child and that sort of the mission to incorporate more joy into your life, to not be so cynical and to embrace the levity, right? Also travel. If you have an opportunity to travel this month, oh my gosh, it'd be, I think, very supported with that 3 and the 5 energy. Yeah, you could have a lot of fun. And you could meet a lot of new people and people who really just light you up and who are easy to work with or to be with and to connect with. And again, who just bring the levity, bring the joy, bring the fun. And this is definitely a month if you can do it. And of course you can do it. But to let your hair down, to just take the time out for the vacation or the staycation, but just to do things that bring you joy. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time. And so if you're constantly striving, constantly pushing, you can't really create anything of value without joy. So you've got to be doing what you enjoy. You've got to be creating from a place of joy. You got to be creating from a place of lightness in order to create something sustainable and of value. So if you don't have a lot of that in your life right now, it's going to be your responsibility to create it, to make that space. So yeah, people are a big part of this month for you. So you could find it to be very social. You could get invites. You could get communication that invites you somewhere. Definitely a great time to network and mingle. If you have that opportunity, it could really open some doors for you. It could really open your eyes to something, maybe a gift that you have, some creative outlet that you didn't realize was available to you, that can really just change your life in some way. Very creative month for sure, or the potential to be. A lot of new insights could come in at this time. You might find that you meet someone who has a tremendous impact on your creativity, on how you express yourself, in helping to free you from, anything that's kind of keeping you stuck from expressing yourself fully and authentically. So really beautiful energy there. You might get a mentor in some way as well, and that can really catapult you in a lot of ways. That is very possible. Anywhere where you are kind of minimizing yourself or kind of making yourself small to make others comfortable, this is going to be a month that will probably shine some light on that, pushing you out of your shell, like pushing you out into the spotlight a little bit to remind you that you have just as much space as everyone else at the table, and your ingredients that you're bringing to the table are just as valuable. So yeah, you could see yourself kind of thrown in the spotlight a little bit this month as well. And that those accolades or that recognition could really kind of open some doors and bring about some change as well. Writing, speaking, very much highlighted this month as well. Especially if you're doing things with others, like if you're connecting with others in some way. I would also say conversation and communication, very highlighted this month, especially with relationships. So yeah, I think that the lines of communication could open, and through that conversation, there could be some change that comes in within your relationships. I think that's really important, but you've got to be there for that conversation, not for the debate, for the conversation. And that's how you're going to see things kind of, unfold in a healthy way. Okay, I pulled an animal wisdom message for you for this month, and you got spider energy. And I love this because, we talked about the 3 energy, and the 5 energy also brings in that freedom of expression and creativity and authenticity and freedom and that sort of thing, right? And the 3 energy, of course, is creativity at its core, creation. And the spider energy just reminds you that you are the creator of your experience. You create your own web. And if you don't like that web that you've created, you are the only one that has the power to either release it, let it go, and build another web, or fix it in some way, modify it in some way, make some changes to it. But if you're the spider and you're sitting in this web that you've created and you're not getting the nutrients and you don't make any changes, you're not going to make it very long. And so, the spider, if it's not getting the nutrients from the web that is created, it's either going to abandon that web and move to the next one and create a better one in a better place, or it's going to make modifications and changes to the one that's created to hopefully get better results. And so there's definitely this beautiful metaphor for this 23/5 energy that you all are moving through this month. Are you happy with your web? Are you happy with what your web is producing? And if you aren't, what do you need to do? What's the next step? And this 5 energy is going to help you to see what that is. But it's going to be your job to either weave a new web or make some changes to the current web. So I hope it's a great month. Take care, 9s. Bye for now.